Amazing Grace, why my walk with Christ. In 2019 was quite a challenge for me. As most of you know, the 24th of January, a year ago, I had back surgery, fusion, and it went fine. Had to learn to walk all over again. But 10 days at home, I had sepsis infection hit me, and I collapsed at home. Debbie could not move me. Could not talk. I could not move my arms and hands. I collapsed in the garage. 911 called. They took me to the hospital, and I was near death. My heart rate was 155. My blood pressure was 60/40, dropping, and I still could not hear. I could not talk. All I could do was hear. I could hear the doctor talk to Deb. Of course, Debbie's crying and praying. That's the main thing. She was praying, and as the time went by at noon, I mouthed to Debbie, I need to talk to my brother in Christ, Rick Bergen, and Pastor LaSalle. I passed out. A few minutes later, or I don't know how long later, I woke up, and there at the foot of my bed was Brother Rick and Pastor LaSalle and Pastor Jan LaSalle praying. He came up to my side, my left side, my arms on the right was with IVs and all kinds of bags of medicine. They could not bring my heart rate down. I still could not talk. I could only hear. And the prayers saved. I believe Christ was walking with me and helping me to make it. And through the prayers. And then at about 8 o'clock at night, they stabilized enough to go to Marion General Hospital for ICU. It took me down by ambulance. Lo and behold, in ICU in Marion, at the foot of my bed was Pastor Ray, Pastor Jan, my wife. And again, prayers. And they stayed there till midnight. And I said to them, why don't you go? No, they wanted to make sure I was fine. And more prayers went up to heaven from that room in the intensive care. But years and years and years, I, at the sheriff's office, would call Pastor LaSalle and said, Pastor, you got to go pray with this family at the church, at the hospital, at the emergency room, because they just lost a loved one. Someone was a child that drowned in a pond. And Pastor Ray LaSalle went to the hospital and prayed with the families. And that's so much. And they did for other people. I just was heartbroken to know that he was there for me. And I was very much thankful for Pastor Ray and Pastor Jan. But the whole point is the prayers that went up from the church. And Pastor Rick Bergen, my brother in Christ, our prayers that day at the hospital. I was saved again by the grace of God, and through his shedding of his blood, I was be able to walk today. I had to walk all over again. Had to learn to walk all over from sepsis, but I made it through. And I want to thank the church. I want to thank the church people here for their prayers, and may God bless you. And thank you very much.